What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Caro Emerald, and we're returning for the final track on the regular release of the Shocking Miss Emerald 2013. Thank you again to Jim, though there are a number of non-album or bonus tunes included in the larger folder I'm working from, so before we go on to the next phase, we will, of course, go through those. And the last track is conveniently or coincidentally named, meaning the track is called, make sure I have this right, Tell Me How Long. And the reason I say that it's conveniently or coincidentally named is I reacted to a Eurythmics track earlier in this session called How Long. So it feels like it's asking the same question but more overtly and with greater phrasing. So yes, Tell Me How Long, it's someone who wants an assessment of the duration or length of some experience, some process, some situation, and whether that's in the past, currently, or perhaps in the future. There is an implied dialogue, there is a suggestion that this condition, dynamic, or interaction will affect indeed more than one person, or at the very least someone is providing an assessment. So even if they're not part of the situation or dynamic themselves, they are hypothesizing, estimating, or predicting the duration in question. Now obviously that could take innumerable forms, but yes, there clearly is an attempt to know and to bring greater clarity to an opacity experienced by the person asking that. Although I suppose it's not a question per se, right? It's a command or a request. So yes, I'll see what that all means in the context of Caro's lyrics, where there is often a story with different scenes, or at least complicated emotional interactions. Say that 3 times fast. So let's watch, or rather listen. This is Caro Emerald, the track is Tell Me How Long, and it's the last tune on her 2013 album, The Shocking Miss Emerald.
He kinda looks a little ordinary, but no, he's kinda shy. A little work and I think that I could easily change his mind. Give him a wink romantically and start to break him down. Go ahead and act real cool, cause it won't be long now. Tell me how long until you say you love me. Tell me how long until you say you're mine. Call me morning, noon or night, I'll make it rain or shine. Tell me how long until you say you're mine. I really like the differences you bring when you arrive. You didn't tell your wife you're here, and baby, that's alright. It'll be our secret, keep it on lock and key. And when you say you miss her, you're really missing me. Tell me how long until you say you love me. Tell me how long until you say you're mine. Call me morning, noon or night, I'll make it rain or shine. Tell me how long until you say you're mine. A one-night affair could last longer if you dare. It's just me over here and you over there. So hey, good looking, tell me how you scared. Well, you keep looking at me over there, over there, over there. Tell me how long until you say you love me. Tell me how long until you say you're mine. Call me morning, noon or night, I'll make it rain or shine. Tell me how long until you say you're mine.
What a lovely tune. I love her work. It just, she has a very particular flavor. Not that I haven't heard any variety, of course I have, and some that are a bit newer sounding, some that are a bit more throwback, and as with this one, many that synthesize the two. But yes, she just has a really awesome style and a genre that she's made her own. Now, again, I get by the time we get to the Jordan, she wanted to change things up. She wanted to shed the persona and the sonic limitations, perhaps, of what the Caro Emerald character and name had become. But ultimately, I love her work. Again, this is a very old school, oldie-timey jazz meets more modern hip-hop styling type of sound. And indeed, like, a lot of the instrument sounds here made me think that it kind of had this old-time movie feel to it, like a song from a 1950s movie or something, but again, with turntablism sounds and with a more modern, like, hip-hop percussive rhythm. So yes, fusing the old and the new, giving me visuals, and once again, a story with some complicated emotions and scenes. But yes, first the sonics, I absolutely enjoy the strings. It feels like there is some violins, but especially this deeper cello run that really stood out to me. We have a bit of a dancing, light piano touch, some soft brass, rhythmic sounds that give it sort of a sonic framing. And I wondered even if a moment or two there was like a bell or like a chime type of sound, but definitely a rich sonic palette and instrumental variety. And then of course we have those, like, the kicking hip hop beat and Caro's like fun light vocals. And then lyrically it sounds like the question is, tell me how long till you love me, tell me how long till you're mine, but in the context of what sounds like an affair. Now, it sounds like maybe the interest is more prominent on Caro's side, or the character that she's playing, whereas the other person, the guy, has a wife, but seemingly on some level must have been looking her way such that this is even a question in the first place. But she's saying, call me morning, noon, or evening, anytime, and I'll come over, rain or shine, because eventually I want to wear down any resistance or resolve you have to stay in your little monogamous relationship, and I want to actually make you my monogamous partner. So she's seeming or scheming to steal this man away from the situation and the relationship he's in now, which to her mind is fair in that she seems to think, or is implying, that this is a better match, that this is something that just needs to be, and he needs to move past from and sever himself from his wife. So again, there's a bit of drama, a bit of controversy, a bit of scandal afoot, but that feels very much like the complicated narratives that she weaves in a lot of her songs. So, and I like the way that this perhaps dangerous type of theme or narrative is being spun within a song that is sort of light and, with this rich instrumentation. So there's a bit of that, at odds, where the sonics are lighter and more fun than maybe the lyrics and themes and narrative would suggest. So a very cool and fitting way to end this album. As I said, there's a number of bonus tunes included. Let me just get a quick count on how many there are. Holy smokes! I may have done this before, but just to be clear, is this, wait. Okay, so that was... Oh, and there's like a number... Oh, that's right. Most of them are live in Glasgow. So there's like a live performance of most of, if not all of the tunes, because there's like 19 extra tracks beyond the regular album, but 2 of them appear to be proper bonus tunes, meaning like non-album tracks that are not live, and those are the next 2. So that's No Charge and The Bullet. And then at that point, I guess I'll just, sort of ask for a poll in terms of what people think, if we should move on to the next album proper or go through a lot of these live in Glasgow performances. I'd be interested in doing either. Of course, hearing someone live is always a treat to me, but of course going through more of the proper albums could of course be preferable if people think that's the case. And of course, Jim, if you see this, please let me know what your opinion would be. But yes, as I said, there are at least 2 more non-album, non-live tunes, so we'll go through those and then we can make decisions as seems appropriate. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.